Following the events of the Universe 6 tournament, our heroes head back to Earth after a well-fought battle against the opposing universe. But little did they know, a new threat was going to appear from the shadows. We're open up to an alternate timeline where future Trunks is seemingly running away from an unknown tremendous voice. No place seems to be safe, as everywhere he turns there's more constant stress or explosions. After some time of trying to escape from the opposing threat, Trunks finally manages to escape from his underground hideout in order to take shelter. Entering the shelter, Trunks is greeted by future Mai, who is apparently waiting for him the whole time. Giving Trunks water to drink, Mai questions what happened to his mother Bulma. In distress, Trunks cries silently in terror, knowing that his mother's life was taken from her due to this opposing threat that they've been facing. Mai consoles Trunks with a warm embrace for his mother's death and then offers him food that they both end up sharing together. When offering the leftover food to Mai, he says how their job is to survive at all costs together, knowing that this was the last promise he gave to his mother. Trunks stands up straight, saying that their next task is to travel 17 years to the past, where his father and Goku will help them with this opposing threat that they're facing. We are then shown to the present timeline, where Bulma is shown talking to Jocko about some type of parallel world that exists apart from their own. Jocko states how a world like this one would only come to exist if someone were to create some type of time machine in order to alter the events of history. He goes on to say that doing such a thing is a serious crime, and he suspects that Bulma might be committing such a crime based on what he's heard from Bulma's sister. Bulma says how she doesn't have any intentions of doing that at the moment, and she calls out Jocko for not confronting Hit on his controversial time skip technique. Jocko responds saying how his technique didn't show any signs of altering history, so it wouldn't be qualified under the same category. In the background, Beerus and Whis are enjoying some of Earth's best food while Goku and Vegeta are sparring together. Bulma looks towards Whis in confusion, asking him if there's a separate timeline that exists where Golden Frieza destroyed the Earth after Whis turned back time. Whis states how it wasn't altering history to create a parallel world, but more of revisiting specific choices that were made, hence why he was only able to go back a maximum of 3 minutes. Beerus tells Bulma to stop stressing over this matter, considering that humans aren't able to time travel anyway. With a blank stare, Bulma stares at Beerus, leaving him to think that he struck some type of nerve. After training, Goku and Vegeta join Whis and Beerus for lunch. When eating their ramen, Goku asks Whis about Zeno, questioning why Beerus was so afraid of him since he didn't sense any type of ki from him during their confrontation. Whis states that Zeno isn't a fighter, but he is the ruler over everything, saying he could destroy all of reality in a blink of an eye if he wanted to. He goes on to give an example of how there used to be 18 universes, but once he got agitated, he ended up erasing 6 of them. Back in the future timeline, Future Trunks and Future Mai were getting ready to leave, as he states this mysterious dark force has mastered the ability of ki control, considering how he was able to find Trunks when he wasn't in plain sight. Knowing such a claim, Trunks and Mai begin to head out to their secret tunnel, following towards what's left of Capsule Corporation. Running up to the door, the mysterious force seems to be behind them, staring them down from the top of a building. Trunks, in fear, fires a ki blast at this enemy as he grabs Mai's hand and makes a run for their time machine. The mysterious enemy catches up to them, firing ki blasts directly at them, leaving Trunks with no other choice than to grab Mai in order to take cover. Trunks instructs Mai to go take the time machine without him, as he holds off the mysterious foe for as long as he can. Trunks, with his sword in hand, charges at the enemy and is easily tossed off to the side without much of an effort. As the enemy is about to finish off Trunks, Mai, from a distance, shoots the mysterious dark force with her gun in an attempt to save him. With no effort, the enemy fires a ki blast towards Mai, blasting her away and seemingly ending her life. Trunks runs towards Mai and immediately notices she's dead and holds her, crying in grief. Trunks, now in anger, stands up and stares down at the enemy, now revealing that this mysterious dark force is Goku Black. Now, engulfed with anger, Trunks transforms into Super Saiyan 2 and fires a Masenko at Goku Black. Despite Trunks' attempt to overpower him, he's easily proven powerless against him as he's about to be pierced with his own sword. With the knowledge that future Trunks is the last surviving hope for the future, he fires Ki Blast into the ground as he's able to buy enough time for himself to escape into Capsule Corp. As Goku Black is looking for future Trunks, he's shown busting out from the side of Capsule Corp in what appears to be his time machine made by his mother. When Goku Black notices, he gets into a familiar looking stance, declaring declaring how Trunks will not be able to escape from him this time. He fires what appears to be a dark Kamehameha towards Trunks in his time machine, but in the blink of an eye, Trunks vanishes. Black, in confusion, stares into the air, unfamiliar with where Trunks just went. Little does he know, future Trunks is heading back to the past in order to get aid from Goku and Vegeta. Back in the present timeline, Goku and Vegeta are shown to be training again after lunch with Beerus and Whis. Out of nowhere, the time machine that future Trunks was in appears, leaving everyone in sight astonished by this sudden event. When looking inside the time machine, Bulma immediately notices that it's future Trunks. Bulma tells Goku to go get a senzu bean and he's quick to oblige. Goku uses instant transmission to visit Korin as everyone else sets Trunks down in a safe space to rest. The Pilaf gang looks towards Kid Trunks and states how this mysterious boy that appeared looks awfully similar to him. Goku returns as he throws the senzu bean towards Vegeta so that he's able to feed it to Trunks. Trunks awakens from his restless pain as he looks towards everyone, but specifically noticing Goku enrages him. Trunks throws a punch towards Goku as he's able to easily block the fierce strike. In confusion, Goku questions why Trunks decided to punch him so suddenly as Trunks snaps away from his rage. Future Trunks is in shock to see Goku alive after he remembers that he gave up his life to Cell during the Cell games. Goku explains how a lot has happened since then and he was able to come back to life. Beerus looks towards Kid Trunks and receives confirmation that his name is also Trunks. With that confirmation, Whis is able to conclude that they have been manipulating with time. Trunks, in tears, states his relief at being able to make it back to where they are now. Goku asks Trunks if it was Majin Buu that has been causing him this type of trauma. Trunks responds saying how he was successfully able to stop Dabura and Babidi from resurrecting Majin Buu with the help of the Supreme Kai, leaving Vegeta with much satisfaction. Whis is astonished at the fact that mortals were able to create such a device that has the ability to manipulate time. However, both Beerus and Whis confront Bulma and the others, saying that manipulating time is a serious offense and Beerus should have all right to destroy her for committing such an act. In response, Bulma states how it's not really her that created the time machine, but it's her future counterpart, so she really can't be held against those actions. Vegeta asks Trunks what kind of enemy Trunks is facing this time. Trunks, giving a brief description of this foe, states how he randomly appeared out of nowhere, claiming that he wanted to annihilate every mortal in existence in the name of justice. Vegeta demands again for Trunks to tell him who exactly is this enemy they're facing, as Trunks states that it's Goku, or at least someone who resembles his physical attributes but not his mental and ethical ones. Trunks further elaborates on his description of the foe, stating that they refer to him as Goku Black. Goku, in excitement, asks if he wants them to go back to the past and beat this guy, proclaiming how it really shouldn't be too much of a problem. However, Trunks states how he really can't go back to the past anymore because there was only enough fuel in the time chamber for a one-way trip. Vegeta questions Trunks as to why he came back to the past in the first place. Trunks says how future Bulma told him that survival will lead to hope, but he had no other choice but to make his escape back to the past. But Goku says how Trunks shouldn't have to go with them. Instead, Goku and Vegeta can take matters into their own hands. Goku continues and asks Trunks what kind of fuel they use, as he responds stating that it's blue electric liquid. Much to Bulma's surprise, she states how that's the same liquid that they're developing in their time right now. Bulma continues to say how she will still need approximately 1 day to gather all of the fuel necessary to fill up the time machine. Future Trunks is astonished at how they can collect the blue 15 energy fluid that fast, considering how it took them nearly half a year to collect the necessary amount for a one-way trip. Goku now proclaims how he and Vegeta can go to the future to help Trunks with his battle. Vegeta very politely asks Bulma if she would allow him to go, and she states how it really shouldn't be much of a problem, so long as they promise to come back alive. Trunks, though, expresses his worry on how they might not be much of a match for this formidable foe, considering how much Trunks trained in an attempt to overpower this foe but had no success in the end. Goku responds to Trunks, saying how they should have a sparring match so that Goku can gauge how he compares to this current threat. The stage is set for Goku and Future Trunks to spar, as Future Trunks immediately powers up to Super Saiyan 2. Goku states how Trunks has gotten a lot better since the last time they met, and he powers up to Super Saiyan 2 as well. Goku gets into his fighting stance as he charges at Trunks, releasing a barrage of punches at him. Trunks blocks all of Goku's punches as he falls back to the ground, releasing a double kick that sends Goku flying. Trunks follows up by charging at Goku as he draws his sword, attempting to slash Goku with it. However, Goku, while only using a single finger, blocks Trunks' swing effortlessly. Whis and Beerus state how Trunks and Goku are using Super Saiyan 2, but they are seemingly almost equal in strength, but also suggesting how Trunks might be slightly better. Goku tells Trunks how amazing he is and how much better he is compared to Gohan when they face off against Cell. Trunks says how it's been more than 10 years since then and he's trained himself to death ever since. However, Goku responds saying how he has something exciting to show Trunks, something that he hasn't seen yet. Goku charges his Super Saiyan strength further, pushing him even further beyond to Super Saiyan 3. Trunks is astonished by this new level as Goku introduces it as the next level after Super Saiyan 2. Trunks is amazed as he states how he never knew something like that was even possible, but he also has a lot more power to show as well. Trunks begins to raise his ki as high as he can possibly go, rendering Goku in disbelief. Vegeta says how Trunks didn't transform any further, but his strength has increased to be just as strong as Goku's Super Saiyan 3. Trunks now charges at Goku with full strength, attempting to slash him with his sword. However, Goku vanishes away from Trunks' attack almost immediately as he launches a kick on the back of Trunks' head. Whis and Beerus state how Goku used his god form for a split second to attack Trunks there, further stating how it was quite childish of him to do that. It's quite funny to see how they're really going out of their way to show how useless Super Saiyan 3 is, considering how Trunks in Super Saiyan 2 is just as strong as Goku Super Saiyan 3. But anyway, Goku apologizes to Trunks, asking if he's okay. As Trunks begins to state that he's okay, Goku tells Trunks how much his strength surprised him, further saying how he can't believe Trunks was able to get that strong all on his own. However, Trunks responds stating that despite his newfound strength, it was nothing compared to Goku Black. Beerus doesn't understand why his future counterpart doesn't make an effort to stop the criminal offense that future Bulma and future Trunks is committing, as Whis jokingly says how there doesn't seem to be much of a difference between the two of them. Future Trunks questions who is the god of destruction they keep talking about, but Whis asks Trunks what happened to the Supreme Kai after the fight they had with Dabuda and Babidi. Trunks, in distress, states how he unfortunately passed away during their fight against Dabuda. Beerus is in disbelief over the Supreme Kai being dead in the future timeline, further explaining how this is what happens when a coward like him tries to play the hero. Goku doesn't understand why Beerus is so in distress over the death of the Supreme Kai, as Whis states that the god of destruction and the god of creation live amongst each other. Once one of them dies, then the other one would die along with them, as he continues to say how it's safe for him to assume that the god of destruction from Trunks' timeline probably no longer exists. Future Trunks goes further in depth into his backstory and how he and the Supreme Kai was able to stop the resurrection of Majin Buu. During the future timeline, it was taking Babidi a much longer time to collect the energy needed to resurrect Majin Buu, especially due to the fact that the Earth was losing a lot of its population from the androids. During that time, Supreme Kai finds future Trunks, the last remaining Saiyan on Earth, and he decides to take him to his planet to train using the Z-Sword. During the end of their training, Supreme Kai takes a large block of metal known as Kachin. This is the same metal that broke the Z-Sword when Gohan was using it in the present timeline. As they are about to test the strength of the Z-Sword, they feel the energy of Babidi making his move on Earth. During the battle on Earth, Dabuda is way too strong against future Trunks, and he even spits on the Z-Sword during their fight, completely destroying the sword and the Elder Kai that rests within it. The Supreme Kai apologizes to Trunks, stating how he should have known that Babidi would have controlled Dabuda to serve under him. In a desperate attempt to stop the resurrection of Majin Buu, the Supreme Kai charges at Babidi with full strength, but Dabuda easily blasts him away. Kibito quickly tries to make his way over to him in order to provide healing, but Dabuda kills Kibito in the blink of an eye with a ki blast at point blank range. This is similar to the way he killed him in the present timeline initially too. Trunks is now engulfed with rage at the fall of his close comrade. Utilizing his anger, future Trunks transforms into Super Saiyan 2 for the first time. Trunks now charges at Dabuda with his newfound power and launches a kick that sends him flying back towards Babidi. Dabuda takes out a spear to launch towards Trunks, but suddenly he becomes paralyzed by the Supreme Kai. Future Trunks takes this opportunity to take on a familiar looking stance. While charging his ki, he launches a burning attack at Dabuda, completely disintegrating him and killing both him and Babidi. Supreme Kai sighs in relief, declaring how this world is finally at peace once again. He falls to the ground as he slowly loses his life, ending their desperate battle to end the threat of Majin Buu. However, this opened a hole in the timeline where Goku Black can initiate his Zero Mortal plan. While hearing the story, Whis and Beerus suggest the idea that Goku Black might be a god. Considering how only a select few people know about the link between the God of Destruction and God of Creation. Whis even goes further to suggest that it's even possible that Goku Black is from a parallel timeline himself. Bulma interrupts the conversation and says how we should leave things as they are and wait until the time machine is fully recharged. She suggests to Trunks that he should change his clothes and get ready for some dinner. In the process, future Trunks meets his past counterpart and the younger version of Mai, and that well as you would expect it to go. Back in the future timeline, Goku Black seemingly can't detect the presence of future Trunks after the use of the time machine. He continues to state how the Supreme Kais from every other universe has been completely wiped out and the gods of destructions vanish with them. Goku Black questions himself if all of the opposing threats are really over, but he continues to express his reluctance with that thought. He says how no one should ever underestimate the persistence of a Saiyan, and how he of all people should know that. Back in the present timeline, everyone is enjoying dinner with each other as Goku questions Trunks if there really isn't anyone in his timeline that could possibly be fighting on his side. Trunks says how Goku Black told him that he destroyed every god of destruction from every universe. Beerus suggests that maybe this opposing threat isn't just a threat in this future timeline, but he might pose a threat in their present timeline as well. Whis asks Beerus if he wishes to talk to the Supreme Kai to know if there's anything he knows of the matter. Beerus goes deeper on the question and tells him to specifically ask him if there's a god who has the potential to turn evil. We're now cut off to a different universe, being Universe 10. Kibito and a mysterious green-looking Kaioshin are apparently having a sparring match with each other. The mysterious Kaioshin is easily able to overpower Kibito as the match is stopped by the 10th universe Kaioshin. Shin is astonished by this Kaioshin in training strength, revealing his name to be Zamasu. Kibito is amazed at how strong Zamasu is, as Zamasu is amazed by his strength as well. He goes further and says how he was even told how they were able to defeat Majin Buu. The Supreme Kai responds, saying how they wouldn't have been able to defeat Majin Buu if it weren't for the help of the Saiyan son Goku. Zamasu expresses the impossibility of that claim, stating that there's no way that a mortal can be stronger than a god. Kibito states how there are a number of mortals that surpass the strength of even gods, but Shin further explains how none of them surpass the strength of a god of destruction. He also expresses his relief that the job of destroying was left to their hands. Zamasu smirks and responds by saying how he believes they did the right thing, destroying all unnecessary beings. Shin and Kibito make their way back to Universe 7 as Gowasu decides to speak to Zamasu, saying how his martial arts skills are at their peak. However, he still needs to be polished morally. Gowasu shows Zamasu these two monsters fighting from the planet Barbari. Zamasu suggests the savagery of these two beings fighting, while Gowasu says how there were such beings that have it within their nature to be vicious. But what would he exactly suggest is the best thing for them to do in that situation? Zamasu suggests destroying them before they cause any further destruction. Gowasu states the absurdity of that claim, saying how that's the type of judgment that's only left for a god of destruction. Gowasu continues to say how they ought to observe them more closely by giving them up to 1,000 more years to see how they develop. But Zamasu suggests his thoughts on the unlikelihood of that actually happening. Gowasu says how Zamasu doesn't know that for sure, but Zamasu continues to persist. Gowasu decides to take this opportunity to test Zamasu's claim, as he takes out a following case with time rings, which are rings that help its user travel freely throughout the flow of time itself. Gowasu says that Zamasu can now now observe the future of Planet Barbari for himself and witness if these creatures were really worth the watch after all. On Planet Barbari, Zamasu and Gowasu witness a conflict among the barbarians involving an oversized fish, which ends up leading to the death of some of the barbarians. Zamasu is clearly displeased with what he sees, but Gowasu reassures him, stating how things could possibly change given 1,000 years. Gowasu then reveals the time ring, a rarely used tool that allows one to travel freely through time between the present and the future. However, he reminds Zamasu that traveling to the past is strictly forbidden as it could alter the course of history. Gowasu explains how other rings were created as a result of history being rewritten. He recalls how long ago in Universe 12, a mortal civilization created a device that allowed them to travel into the past, which in turn created a ring connected to that parallel universe. Gowasu hands his Patara to Zamasu, granting him temporary status as the Great Lord of Lords, and thus the power to travel through time itself. They place their fists together and, chanting within their minds, arrive on Planet Barbari, but 1,000 years into the future. There, they observe the progress among the barbarians, how they've constructed homes, fire pits, the formation of a language, and the creation of musical instruments. However, their observation is cut short as a violent war breaks out between the barbarians, further fueling Zamasu's disgust towards mortal beings. Gowasu noticed something unusual through the chaos of war. Before Zamasu could witness it, a barbarian approaches from behind, ready to attack, and Zamasu quickly moves to defend them. Gowasu urges them to leave at once, but Zamasu ignores his warning, keeping his focus on the barbarian as it charges at him once again. This time, Zamasu strikes the being down, killing it with clear satisfaction. They quickly return to their own time, where Gowasu immediately scolds Zamasu for his actions on the barbarian. Zamasu, however, fails to understand the wrong in what he had done. Gowasu explains that every being has a purpose and a reason for existing, though Zamasu believes otherwise. When Zamasu questions what their true purpose is, Gowasu reminds him that their only purpose is to observe. He further states how it's not combat skill that makes one Lord of Lords, but a calm mind and a gentle soul. Zamasu is dissatisfied with this answer, feeling that all of the training and effort he had put in into obtaining his power is now meaningless. Yet he still apologizes to Gowasu, and Gowasu forgives him. We then cut off to Trunks and the others playing go-karts, with Trunks taking first place while Vegeta finishes last. It's kind of funny to see how they're including some type of filler here within the manga. The next morning, Trunks and Vegeta are seen training in the gravity chamber while Goku meditates in complete concentration over the surface of the water. The Supreme Kai arrives after being summoned by Beerus, who wishes to know if he had heard of any dangerous ideology circulating. Whis elaborates, asking if Supreme Kai has heard of any god who harbors hatred towards mortals. After giving it some thought, the only person that could come to the mind of Supreme Kai is Kibito, though Goku expresses doubt that Kibito could be the Goku Black that they're searching for. Beerus suggests how it could be a disguise, and with that, Whis prepares to take them to Kibito, only to be interrupted by a call from the Grand Priest. Goku is informed that Grand Zeno wishes to see him immediately, but being preoccupied, Goku is reluctant to leave. Beerus, however, insists that Goku will make every effort to make it there on time. The Supreme Kai offers to teleport them, noting that it will take Whis approximately 2 days in order to reach Grand Zeno's palace. Before they depart, Beerus entrusts both Whis and Supreme Kai with the task of keeping Goku in line before Grand Zeno, and warns the Supreme Kai not to die on him, as dying could lead to the end of both of them. Upon arriving at the palace, Goku is introduced to the Grand Priest. Learning that the Grand Priest's power surpasses even Whis', Goku asks why he cannot assist in defeating Goku Black. Whis explains that angels such as himself are forbidden to fight and must remain neutral, which is why he is never seen engaging in battles outside of training. He further states how if the Lord of Everything were to learn of such actions, he would destroy everything in the entire universe. Zeno greets Goku with excitement, explaining how he wants a friend and wishes to play with him. Curious, Goku asks if that's all Zeno wanted, admitting that he thought Zeno had summoned him to discuss the tournament. Goku understands and allows Zeno to address him by his shortened name instead of his full one. Happy about hearing that, Zeno wanted a nickname himself, permitting Goku to give him one, leading Goku to decide to call him Zenchan. Zeno is pleased with his new nickname, but Goku apologizes, explaining how he cannot stay as he is currently busy. Zeno responds how he does not mind waiting as long as Goku promises to return. Goku promises to come back and even promises to bring someone even better better for Zeno to play with. Overjoyed by this, Zeno gives Goku a button, explaining that pressing this button will summon him immediately. With that, the two say their goodbyes, and Goku picks up the Supreme Kai who had fainted earlier due to Goku's overly casual behavior towards Zeno. As they get ready to leave, even the Grand Priest comments on how intriguing Goku is, admitting that he too looks forward to seeing him again. Meanwhile, Zamasu is seen on Zuno's planet attempting to get more information about the Super Dragon Balls. He is told the incantation required to summon the dragon from the Super Dragon Balls, and once a wish is granted, the Dragon Balls disperse between Universe 6 and Universe 7. When Zamasu presses for more details, he is refused until he threatens to end the informant's life. Shaken and on edge, the informant reveals that the Dragon Balls will require 1 year to regain their light. Unhappy with that answer, Zamasu remains resolute in his pursuit, demanding to be told the exact location of where each Dragon Ball is located. Reuniting with Beerus, Goku, Whis, and the Supreme Kai make their way back to Earth, with Whis expressing curiosity with who Goku intends to bring for Zeno. Goku admits that he has no idea and had in fact lied to Zeno in order to leave quickly and focus on the matter of Black. Shocked by this claim, the Supreme Kai warns that if Zeno were to discover this, he would destroy absolutely everything. Goku suggests Beerus as the one thing to bring considering his free time, but Beerus rejects the idea outright, prompting Goku to figure it out later. Whis advises that they resume their search for Goku Black, and Beerus agrees, stating that Kibito does appear suspicious and that he will confront him personally. Confused by this, the Supreme Kai asks what's going on, and Goku explains the entire situation. The Supreme Kai is stunned by the complexity of the matter. When Bulma arrives with Kibito, he quickly moves to defend him, as Beerus is already preparing to dispose of him right there and then. Kibito explains how he came after receiving a message about a god named Zamasu who had been asking about the Super Dragon Balls. The Supreme Kai clarifies that Zamasu is an apprentice of the Great Lord of Lords of Universe 10. Kibito goes on to say that Zamasu inquired about Goku and asked if it was possible for a god to switch bodies with a mortal using the Dragon Balls. Stunned by this revelation, everyone begins to piece together the truth about Goku Black. Beerus points out that the Lord of Lords have access to time rings, meaning it would not matter if Goku in Trunks' world had already been gone for quite some time. To confirm this theory, Whis asked Trunks if he had seen Black wearing a green Potara earring. After trying to recall, Trunks does confirm that Goku Black did have one green Potara earring on his left ear. Whis further explains that only a great Lord of Lords can wear that color, further proving that a Lord of Lords is involved with this conflict. Bulma summarizes the situation, stating that Zamasu's plan is to kill the current Lord of Lords, take his Potara and title, travel to Trunks' world with the time ring, and then use the Dragon Balls to take over Goku's body. Whis explains that traveling to Trunks' time would make this plan a lot easier, as the great Lord of Lords no longer exists there, but warns that their own world is not safe either, as Zamasu could be hiding and waiting to annihilate all of their gods as well. Frustrated, Beerus declares that they will travel to Universe 10 to destroy Zamasu before he can act, even if it means altering the future and creating another timeline. When Goku asks if he can join them, Beerus refuses, saying it would cause more problems if Zamasu were to meet him. The Supreme Kai offers to accompany them, but Beerus declines, assigning him a separate task instead. With all of that information said, everyone decides to part ways. Remaining on Earth, Goku, Vegeta, Bulma, and Trunks return to the time machine, which has been fully refueled. The Saiyans prepare to set out and confront Goku Black immediately, despite Bulma suggesting that they wait for Beerus and Whis to return. Goku insists on dealing with Goku Black as soon as possible, with Vegeta and Trunks fully in agreement. With sensu beans in hand, they board the time machine and say their farewells before taking off. Arriving in future Trunks' timeline, they are met with a devastated Earth, ruined cities with almost nothing left standing. Sensing Goku Black's energy, Goku and Vegeta realize he must have sensed them as well and quickly instruct Trunks to hide the time machine. While doing so, Trunks notices a familiar black cat and instinctively chases after it, only for the cat to lead him back to Mai. Fearing that he might lose Mai, Trunks shouts to Goku for a sensu bean. Goku gives a sensu bean to Trunks, and Trunks feeds the sensu bean to Mai through a kiss. Goku is taken aback by the way Trunks gives the sensu bean to Mai, prompting Vegeta to ask if Goku has really never kissed anyone before. Goku casually responds that of course he has never kissed anyone despite being married to Chi-Chi. With the help of the sensu bean, Mai regains consciousness and spots Vegeta and Goku. Curious, she asks why Vegeta and Goku are there, only to be told that they have come to defeat Goku Black. As they prepare to set out, Vegeta instructs Trunks to stay behind. Vegeta orders him to remain back and watch over both Mai and the Time Machine, only coming in to assist if the battle reaches a critical point. Trunks reluctantly agrees, surprised at how much his father has changed since the last time they were together. With that, Vegeta and Goku depart to face off against Goku Black. Mai questions whether the two can truly help, but Trunks expresses complete confidence, believing that they are the only ones capable of protecting their world. From the distance, Goku Black senses the energy of Goku and Vegeta and teleports towards them. Goku Black is astonished to see Goku and Vegeta, as Goku expresses how strange it is that Goku Black looks so awfully similar to himself. Vegeta stands ahead and tells Goku to let him go first, for nothing will give him more pleasure than beating someone who looks identical to him. Goku and Vegeta confront Goku Black on his true identity, declaring how he's really Zamasu, hiding and wielding the power of Son Goku. Goku Black is appalled at how much the Saiyan duo already know, as Goku continues to question him, asking him what happened to his own body. Smirking in delight, Goku Black says how he disposed of the future Goku he stole this body from with ease, as Vegeta interrupts, saying how he didn't come here for any type of chit-chat. Wasting no time at all, he immediately transforms into Super Saiyan. He charges at Goku Black, launching a punch towards him, but it's nothing Black can't handle. Vegeta hits Black with a barrage of kicks, attempting to overpower him. Vegeta now kicks Goku Black, bringing separation between the two of them. Goku Black smirks in delight, expressing his excitement to fight against a new foe after getting bored of constantly fighting against Trunks. Goku Black transforms into regular Super Saiyan, displaying a newly found sense of confidence. Goku Black and Vegeta stare each other down as Goku Black charges at Vegeta, now going on the offensive. Vegeta leaps into the air as Goku Black strikes a familiar looking stance. He releases a dark looking Kamehameha towards Vegeta, but Vegeta is able to dodge it with ease. Vegeta strikes Goku Black in his ribcage, sending him flying through the middle of town. Goku Black begins to charge at Vegeta again as they begin to exchange blow for blow. Vegeta is able to successfully strike Goku Black in the face, sending him flying down as he sends a barrage of ki blasts at him. Vegeta now stares down at the leftover explosion while displaying a small sense of fatigue. Goku Black is shown within a barrier that he created for himself in order to provide protection from Vegeta's last attack. Trunks is in some sort of distress, expressing how Goku Black is somehow a lot stronger compared to the last time that they fought. Mai responds to Trunks, saying how it seemingly looks like Vegeta does have the upper hand, also expressing how they have the real Goku on their side, so they realistically should have nothing to worry about. Goku Black is frustrated at Vegeta's ability to fight as well as he does, while questioning which era this specific version of Vegeta is from. Vegeta tells him to figure it out on his own, as he then goes on to say how the body that he currently possesses of Goku must be a future one, so they should continue to settle the battle within their ultimate forms. In a break of silence from Goku Black, Vegeta transforms into Super Saiyan Blue, much to Goku Black's surprise. Vegeta tells Goku Black to transform into Blue or else he'll be dead before he knows it. Goku Black expresses how he can't transform into Blue yet, as Vegeta showcases some sort of excitement. In the blink of an eye, Vegeta punches Goku Black in the gut and says the body he is borrowing is built upon a long history of training and combat, a foundation that isn't truly understood by him. Vegeta charges a hammer fist as he slams Goku Black down through the surface of the planet. Goku Black slowly stands from the ground and states how he won't let the Saiyan duo ruin his plans that he has for this newly found world. Charging back at each other again, the fighting breaks to the present timeline where Whis and Beerus are with the Great Lord of Lords of Universe 10. Zamasu apologizes to Gowasu for making such a sudden departure, saying how he received an urgent call from his successor. Zamasu notices both Beerus and Whis and questions who they are exactly. Gowasu introduces the pair and confronts Zamasu on where he ran off to. Zamasu attempts to lie to Beerus about where he was, but Beerus is able to catch his bluff. He questions why Zamasu would try to speak to Zeno of Universe 7 about Goku and the Super Dragon Balls. He also asks about the possibility of switching bodies with a mortal. Suddenly, the Supreme Kai of Universe 7 appears. In Shin's hand is the time ring, with Gowasu asking him why would he take take such sudden measures. Shin stares down Zamasu and tells him how he's witnessed his future with his own eyes, specifically seeing his evil desires. Gowasu is in disbelief from Shin's claim as Beerus emphasizes how he now has a legitimate reason to destroy Zamasu. Zamasu questions the evil deeds they refer to and questions if they are simply referring to his acts of justice. Beerus calls Zamasu delusional for referring to such hasty acts as some type of justice. Zamasu smirks, saying how if his plans have already succeeded in the future, he has even more of a reason to be certain that they will succeed now. Zamasu forms an energy blade with his hand and attempts to strike the Supreme Kai. In an instant, Beerus stands in front of Zamasu, grabbing him by the wrist and stopping him from his attack. With fear in his eyes, Zamasu stares at Beerus as he prepares his ultimate attack. Beerus places the opposite hand in front of Zamasu, shouting to be gone. He flashes a seemingly new technique called the Hakai, completely erasing Zamasu from existence. Gowasu is in confusion from the events that have just taken place, while Whis tells him that it would be better if he chose his next apprentice by his heart and not his physical strength. Beerus threatens to destroy Gowasu if he decides to make a thoughtless decision like that again. Suddenly, Supreme Kai expresses to Beerus that they must hurry because they must inform Goku about the recent events. Back in the future timeline, Vegeta is still overpowering Goku Black, as Goku Black expresses his displeasure with mortals and how they all must be exterminated in order to bring balance to the universe. Goku Black continues to try and overpower Vegeta, but it's nothing that Vegeta can't handle. Black states how he eliminated every other god in the multiverse as Goku interrupts him, saying how he only killed the Supreme Kais from every universe in order to exterminate the gods of destructions as well, expanding on how that's dirty play. Goku Black states how it doesn't matter how it was done, what matters is that he is really the only god left in existence. Goku Black in distress launches a barrage of Ki Blast to Vegeta, but Vegeta is able to evade the attack with ease. Vegeta says how they don't need a god that forces his own mindless sense of justice upon themselves. Goku Black is furious by Vegeta's comments, saying how every action that a god like himself makes is complete justice. Trunks runs over to Goku in worry about Goku Black's strength. He says how Vegeta needs to finish off Black immediately because his strength is much greater than before. Goku calls out to Vegeta to finish off Black and forget about his turn. Vegeta smirks, expressing how he was never going to give Goku a turn in the first place. Vegeta kicks Goku Black in the air as he strikes a stance for a final flash. Vegeta states the shame of how his plan won't come into fruition as he releases a devastating final flash. Suddenly, a strange person comes from behind Goku Black, saving him from Vegeta's finishing attack. Seemingly, Zamasu saved Goku Black from death, and he expresses that all of this will increase their goal of becoming a supreme god. Goku Black is healed by Zamasu as he states the loss of him would make their plans useless, declaring how their ultimate end goal is called the Zero Mortal Project. Vegeta, Goku, and Trunks are astonished to see Zamasu in front of them, questioning the existence of another one appearing out of nowhere. Vegeta states how the Zamasu that they are looking at is the one from the current timeline, but he goes on to say how it doesn't matter how many people he has to defeat, considering that they're not a threat to him. Goku Black questions what took Zamasu so long as he responds, saying how he was checking on all of the other parallel worlds with the time ring, so that they're prepared to wipe out every living mortal from not just this timeline, but also all 5 of them. Suddenly, much to Zamasu's surprise, he is confused at the appearance of yet another time ring, questioning if there's another parallel world out there that would exist. In an instant, Vegeta appears behind Goku Black and Zamasu, saying how the Beerus from their timeline must have defeated and killed his past counterpart, therefore creating a whole new timeline where Zamasu doesn't exist. Goku Black finally realizes that the Vegeta and Goku they're facing now came from the past timeline, further clarifying how there's no room for them to exist in this timeline. Vegeta attempts to strike Goku Black to initiate another battle, but he seemingly isn't performing as well as he did prior to his healing. During Vegeta's next charge, Black seems to catch him with a paralysis technique, saying how he was a fool to think that he would have gained Goku's power immediately after acquiring his body. Vegeta breaks out of the paralysis attack as he retreats with a leap backwards. Black states how he finally understands the true nature of how to grow the strength of a Saiyan. Trunks says how Saiyans get stronger after recovering from near-death experiences, stating how Goku Black is using that ability right now. Vegeta continues to try and push back Goku Goku Black with the overwhelming strength of Super Saiyan Blue, but he apparently doesn't have the same success as he once did. Goku Black wipes some blood from his face, saying how Vegeta's level of strength is dramatically helping the increase of his own strength. Goku Black powers down as he begins to take a deep breath. He pauses and says how his power level has increased immensely, while further explaining that there's no possible way they'll be able to get out of this battle alive. He begins to charge up, raising his ki as high as possible with his newfound power. Suddenly, Goku Black transforms into seemingly a new pink transformation, much to everyone's surprise. Zamasu is amazed by this newfound power of Goku Black, saying how when a god is able to surpass the Super Saiyan God wall, his color turns into a light crimson instead of the natural blue. I personally really enjoy how they're bringing a sense of significance to the color of this specific transformation. Goku Black stares down Vegeta and Goku, saying how they should refer to this newly found transformation as Super Saiyan Rosé. Goku suggests the idea that they would both probably start working together now, as Vegeta responds for him to not get in his way and handles Zamasu instead. Goku, without wasting any time, transforms into Super Saiyan Blue as the ultimate fight between the two duos begins. Zamasu attempts to hit Goku with an energy blade, but it's nothing that Goku can't easily handle. Goku says how Zamasu doesn't seem to be as strong as Goku Black, and defeating him shouldn't really take much of an effort. Zamasu attempts to strike Goku in the chest with a pull from the ground, but Goku is able to easily deflect it back towards Zamasu without very much effort as it pierces Zamasu in his chest. Goku turns back into a regular Super Saiyan as he tells Zamasu how he still has a chance to live if he wishes to revert everything to how it once was with the Dragon Balls. Zamasu removes the pull from his chest as the wound is almost instantly healed on its own. Zamasu is smirking vindictively, stating how the Dragon Balls from this timeline no longer exist. He continues to say how he destroyed them after getting his wish granted, further explaining how he wished for his body to become completely immortal. Goku is left completely shocked by Zamasu's statement as Zamasu uses his godly power to retrieve the sensu bean from inside Goku's shirt. Wasting no time, he burns the sensu beans in front of Goku, leaving them with no opportunity to heal themselves in battle. Zamasu now paralyzes Goku as he's able to land a kick flushly on his torso. Zamasu states how he might not be as strong as Goku physically, but deities like himself have their own unique ways of fighting. Back with Vegeta, he is seemingly having no success against Goku Black, forcing our heroes to retreat from their battle. Trunks tells Goku and Mai to close their eyes as he uses a solar flare in order for them to escape. Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Mai have all escaped to a sewer down below as Trunks expresses an apology for not fully knowing the circumstances of his timeline. Their only option now is to return back to the past and come up with a newly found plan. Mai explains how it's impossible for them to come up with a plan against somebody who's immortal, but Goku interrupts, further explaining how there could be one way they'll be able to win. Goku tells Trunks about a time where Master Roshi and his old master were able to seal away the old Demon King Piccolo in a rice cooker, using a technique known as the Mafuba or the evil containment weight. Trunks is fond of Goku's new plan as their plan is to escape to the past so that they can hurry and learn this old technique. Goku Black is able to detect the ki of Mai as he uses instant teleportation to find Goku and the others. Trunks and everyone else is able to conduct a distraction using Mai, while Trunks appears from behind, impaling Zamasu in the chest and further attacking Goku Black. Goku and Vegeta are shown in the time machine as they're able to escape safely back to their past, leaving Trunks and Mai alone against this fearsome duo. Goku and Vegeta arrive back to the present timeline where Bulma, Beerus, Whis, and the rest of them were waiting for their arrival. Looking incredibly battered and bruised, both Vegeta and Goku slowly climb out of the time machine. The two of them take sensu beans while Goku apologizes for leaving Trunks behind. An idea arises to Goku, leading him to ask Bulma if he would be able to use the time machine to arrive at the exact same day in the future. But Bulma says how it wouldn't work because while it is a time machine, it's not connected to the future. Instead, it's connected to a parallel timeline. She further explains how once you change something, you won't be able to go back to that time ever again. So this next round trip will be their last chance to right the wrongs that Goku Black has created. To everyone's astonishment, the Supreme Kai abruptly rises from the table, stating that he must return to Universe 10 to inform Gowasu of all that has transpired. After Shin makes his leave, Beerus underlines how he won't journey to the future with them, considering how he already destroyed the thread of Zamasu from this timeline. Goku now believes that their only genuine hope is if he learns the evil containment wave from Master Roshi. Determined now, Vegeta gets up and takes off right out of the window. While he's flying away, he tells himself that he will stop at absolutely nothing in order to kill Goku Black. Back in the future timeline, Future Trunks and Mai is continuing their battle with Goku Black and Zamasu. Goku Black constantly smacks Future Trunks' head to the ground in frustration, exclaiming how he accomplished nothing by letting them escape back to the past. Mai tries to help Trunks during his period of paralysis, but Goku Black easily tosses her away. Future Trunks takes this opportunity to shoot Goku Black in the face to bring some separation between the two of them. Now, in an attempt to get away from the intimidating pair, Trunks tries to launch another solar flare, but Zamasu is able to stop him from pulling it off with Trunks' own sword that he stabbed through him previously. Just as Goku Black is about to deliver the finishing blow to Trunks, Gowasu appears out of nowhere. Both Gowasu and Shin are able to successfully save Trunks and Mai from Goku Black by bringing them back to the past. Now back in the past, Trunks and Mai are brought back safely by Gowasu and the Supreme Kai due to the use of the time rings. The Supreme Kai explains that they are now in the realm of the Lord of Lords, a place where Goku Black cannot find them, and suggests that they remain there until Goku and Vegeta return. Meanwhile, at Master Roshi's island, Goku is training to learn the evil containment wave in order to seal away Zamasu. When he makes a mistake, Goku suggests that Master Roshi performs it instead, but Roshi warns him that the caster must be strong, otherwise the spell can be fatal, admitting that he himself has died once before using this technique. Master Roshi instructs Goku that after sealing Zamasu, he must cover the container with a paper, tie it off, and attach a talisman to fully seal it. From Supreme Kai's planet, they're able to detect that Goku Black and Zamasu are still killing mortals on Earth. Determined to act, Gowasu prepares to leave, but Supreme Kai advises waiting for Goku and Vegeta. Gowasu refuses though, believing that as Zamasu's master, he can still persuade him to change his wrongdoings. As Zamasu proceeds to eliminate the remaining mortals, Gowasu shows up in front of Black and questions his motives behind killing all the other gods. Black claims that the other gods must die because they cannot comprehend his beliefs, but Gowasu advises him that no one will agree with him because his opinions are incorrect, but there is still enough time for him to change his ways. When Gowasu extends his hand to Black, he is betrayed and stabbed in the stomach. Black says that this is the third time he has slain Gowasu, first his own master, then Zamasu's master, and now completely slaying him. He declares that nothing will stop him from his plans, finding it laughable that Gowasu even tried. Vegeta emerges from the time chamber, prepared for his next battle with Goku Black, and takes off right away. Goku, having mastered the evil containment wave, is likewise ready to fight off against Zamasu. Gowasu is lying on the floor while half dead, with blood flowing down from his chest from where he was stabbed. Shin is engulfed with anger from Goku Black's attempt to kill the Great Lord of Lords of Universe 10. So much so that with zero forethought, he charges at Zamasu with full speed. But Zamasu is able to kick Shin away with very little effort. Trunks is holding the hand of Gowasu in hopes that he will wake up. All of a sudden, Gowasu coughs, signaling that he is still alive, so Mai takes Gowasu on a motorcycle to a safe area. Desperate to kill Goku Black, Trunks transforms into Super Saiyan 2 and charges at Black with full speed. Finally, in desperate times, Goku and Vegeta are finally back in the future timeline. They start to feel Trunks' energy slowly fade away, so Goku teleports them to the battlefield. Vegeta says that he will for sure defeat Goku Black this time, and he suggests for Goku to give the 2 senzu beans to Trunks and the Supreme Kai. Well, would you look at that? Vegeta called him Goku instead of Kakarot. Anyways, Goku quickly gives the senzu beans to both Trunks and the Supreme Kai and teleports them to Mai. Mai tells Goku how they're going to need another senzu bean for Gowasu, so Goku hands it over. Back at the battlefield, Vegeta and Goku Black are at a standoff for what appears to be the fight of their lives. Goku Black says how he doesn't really look any different compared to before, as Vegeta is simply annoyed at his face. Black questions if Vegeta has discovered a new transformation, as he simply responds with a smirk. Vegeta wastes no time and begins to power up, releasing a familiar red-looking aura, transforming into Super Saiyan God. Goku Black realizes that Vegeta is using Super Saiyan God instead of Super Saiyan Blue, suggesting that he must be desperate if he's relying on a weaker form in order to defeat him. Vegeta responds, saying how he's finally realized he needed this form all along in order to defeat him. Annoyed by Vegeta's arrogance, Goku Black fires a blast at Vegeta as he's able to dodge the blast with very little effort. Vegeta charges at Goku Black, releasing a devastating punch that seemingly seemingly catches Black off guard. Goku Black immediately notes the increase in speed that Vegeta has, in confusion with what he's been able to do. Vegeta is now pushing back Goku Black, releasing a barrage of punches at him. Vegeta catches an opening as he kicks Goku Black, sending him flying through several buildings. Goku Black is seemingly displeased with the fact that he's losing to a lesser version of Super Saiyan Blue, bringing Vegeta an immense amount of satisfaction. Back with Trunks, Goku is able to successfully heal everyone as he pops out a capsule showing Trunks the seal he will use to seal away Zamasu. A huge explosion erupts behind Goku as Black is shown flying back from said explosion, showing how Vegeta is successfully pushing him back. Trunks questions which form of Super Saiyan is Vegeta using, as Goku answers saying that it's Super Saiyan God, the predecessor of the Super Saiyan Blue transformation. Trunks questions why would Vegeta seemingly use a weaker version of the form he was originally using, as Goku praises Vegeta's training. Goku further explains how Vegeta is switching from Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue from every moment he finds an opening to attack, as a way to reserve stamina but still utilize the maximum power of Super Saiyan Blue. Goku Black finally concludes the strategy that Vegeta has been using for their fight as Zamasu comes from behind, kicking Vegeta away. Zamasu suggests that the two of them fight off Vegeta together so that they're able to have the advantage, but Goku intervenes. Goku takes out a jar and says to Zamasu that he'll be his opponent from now on. Goku Black questions what is the item that Goku just placed on the ground, but Vegeta quickly fires a barrage of ki blast at him. Goku Black and Vegeta continue their fight as Zamasu questions if Goku truly thinks he can stand a chance against a deity like himself. Wasting no time, Goku transforms into Super Saiyan Blue right away, as he releases the newly learned Mafuba technique. Goku is able to successfully capture Zamasu with the evil containment wave and seals him inside of the jar. Trunks rushes in with Goku in an attempt to tie the lid of the jar so Zamasu can't escape. After successfully tightening the jar, Goku places the Tailsman seal needed in order to keep Zamasu locked away forever, but immediately notices that it was one of Master Roshi's dirty coupons and not the needed seal. After the jar is rendered useless, Zamasu is able to break out of the jar, much to everyone's surprise. Showing signs of fatigue, Zamasu exclaims how he will make Goku pay dearly for nearly putting his reign of terror to an end. Having no other options left, Goku transforms into Super Saiyan God, saying how he's lost a lot of energy from using the evil containment wave. Goku strikes Zamasu with very devastating blows, but Zamasu's immortality is proving to be rather difficult for Goku. Vegeta is still pushing back Goku Black, finally declaring how it's time he finishes him off. Goku questions Zamasu on his ideological level, telling him that there's no hope for him to carry out his plans of Zero Mortals without Goku Black, considering the state of his power. Goku suggests for Zamasu to give up now and go back to the universe he came from. Goku blasts Zamasu back with the impact of his Ki Blast cannon as he's pushed back to Goku Black. Goku Black yells at Zamasu to get on his feet, saying how he granted him immortality for a reason. Zamasu, in anguish, grabs Goku Black by the shirt, telling him that he's deceived him by saying that they would be unstoppable if they combine their powers. He further elaborates, saying how he has to become the mightiest being or all their efforts will have gone to waste. Vegeta, now prepared to finish off the duo, attempts to give them a suggestion on how they prefer to be finished off. Goku Black grabs Zamasu's hand and tells him to not worry, considering that they have one final trump card saved for this moment. Goku Black takes off his Potara earring and places it on his opposite ear. Goku tries to take matters into his own hands and launches a Ki Blast at Zamasu. As the smoke from Goku's blast slowly dissipates, a mysterious looking foe arises from the smoke. The newly formed being stands right before our heroes, calling himself the God Zamasu. Trunks is astonished by the fusion performed by the fearsome duo, while Supreme Kai explains how a fusion is possible between two individuals through the power of the two Potara earrings. Zamasu, in the blink of an eye, speed blitzes past Goku and Vegeta, striking them with a series of blows, knocking them both out of their god forms. The newly formed Zamasu is amazed by his newfound power as Vegeta attempts to charge at him full force but has no success. Goku tries to attack Zamasu with the same efforts, but all of his attacks continuously get deflected. As Zamasu tries to slowly walk behind Goku, he attempts to use a Kamehameha from point blank blank range. The attack pierces a hole through Zamasu's chest, but he's easily able to regenerate himself, showing that he's still very much immortal. Zamasu releases a massive amount of ki blasts at once, completely rendering Goku and Vegeta helpless. A true testament to his newfound power. Vegeta asks Goku if there are any sensu beans left, and Goku responds saying that he only has one left. Goku tells all of them that it's better if they get as far away from here as possible, but the Supreme Kai takes off his Potara earrings, suggesting that Goku and Vegeta should fuse. Goku asks Vegeta if he would be willing to use the Potara earrings, but Vegeta obviously declines. Goku stores the Potara earrings in his pocket away for now and charges at Zamasu, telling him to fight him face to face. The godly powers of Zamasu is proving rather difficult for Goku in Super Saiyan Blue, pushing him back into the corner completely. While everyone watches these events unfold, Trunks is able to tell that there is no hope for Goku. Gowasu responds on how it seemingly doesn't look like they will even be able to survive for an hour, considering that Zamasu's fusion would only be nullified completely within the next hour. This claim renders Vegeta in shock as Gowasu further explains the fusion is only permanent when a Supreme Kai is involved. Considering how Zamasu was never once appointed that role, this rule wouldn't be in place for him. Trunks says that if the only thing that is needed is to stall Zamasu, then he will be able to assist. Vegeta declines Trunks' suggestion, but he persists, saying how this world is still his world, even if he truly is the only one left in it. Trunks further elaborates how it's for the sake of his mother as well, or future Bulma, saying how she always expressed so much interest in Vegeta after his trip to the past. He even says how Bulma and him were considering taking a trip back to the past for the sole purpose of being able to meet him again someday. Trunks says how he can't allow his mother to be sad again, no matter if it's the past, present, or future. Vegeta renders a response in silence as Goku is launched back to Vegeta from the overwhelming pressure of Zamasu's strength. Vegeta tells Goku to give him the Potara earring, suggesting that they will both take this opportunity to fuse. Zamasu begins to charge up a large energy blast to finish off Goku and Vegeta. Suddenly, a bright light flashes through the holes of the building, rendering Zamasu in shock. A large energy blast shoots from the middle of the building, piercing Zamasu through the shoulder as the intensity of the blast flashes through the outer space of the planet. The blast seemingly cuts Zamasu's entire body in half, but he's able to easily regenerate himself. As the smoke clears, a mysterious-looking warrior appears, in shock from the immortality of Zamasu. Standing before him is Vegito, a warrior that is born through the fusion of Goku and Vegeta. Vegito tells Zamasu how his fusion won't last very long, and he only has a time limit of 1 hour because he was never appointed the role of Supreme Kai by Gowasu. Zamasu, who is appalled by Vegito's claim, further explains how an hour should be more than enough to finish him off. Vegito, smirking, says how he has no intention of letting this last any longer. He takes a sensu bean from his shirt, retrieves all of his power, and transforms into Super Saiyan Blue. Now at full power, Vegito says how he is going to defeat Zamasu by not giving him any time to regenerate himself. Vegito, at full speed, kicks Zamasu in the chest, sending him flying across the planet. Vegito charges at Zamasu as he attempts to release a barrage of ki blast in panic. Vegito effortlessly deflects the ki blast and punches Zamasu in the gut repeatedly. Finally, Vegito attempts to release a finishing attack by kicking Zamasu through the ground and sending an energy blast below towards him. Zamasu pops out from the ground and attempts to grab Vegito by his feet to swing him around. But Vegito is able to use his spirit sword to slice Zamasu's hands off before he's able to do so. Vegito pierces Zamasu over his entire body repetitively as he finishes with a kick, sending him flying down to the ground. Zamasu effortlessly regenerates himself and begins to summon a large amount of Kaching to launch at Vegito. Vegito begins to charge his finishing blow, the final Kamehameha. Just as the two opposing fusions are about to release their finishing attacks, Goku and Vegeta's fusion runs out, separating the duo from each other. The large amount of Kaching continues to fly towards them without slowing down, striking them both down at point blank range. Everyone is astonished by the incredibly low amount of time they've had to fuse, as Gowasu further explains how the two of them were too powerful for the fusion to be sustained. Supreme Kai explains to Gowasu how he regrets becoming a Kaioshin, considering how it released him from being able to wield the power of healing, considering how the apprentice of a Supreme Kai has the ability to heal other people. Trunks is in shock by Supreme Kai's claim, as he tells him that he had become an apprentice of the Great Lord of Lords. He further elaborates, saying how the Supreme Kai from his timeline took him in as an apprentice after he underwent the ritual, further establishing that Trunks has the power to restore other people's power. This seems a little bit strange, because I guess that would mean future Kibito wasn't an apprentice of the Supreme Kai, unless a Supreme Kai is able to have two underlings at once, but I don't know. Trunks is astonished by this claim, but is able to realize the truth behind it when he briefly felt for a moment that he was able to heal Mai and Gowasu after they were nearly killed. A huge explosion erupts behind Trunks as Vegeta is sent flying from him. Trunks tells Vegeta how he has the ability to heal him, but the Supreme Kai interrupts, saying how he'll only have the ability to restore the strength of one person back to the full strength of Super Saiyan Blue. Vegeta is confused by what's happening, as Trunks briefly explains how he has the ability to heal. Trunks takes this opportunity to heal Vegeta, but Vegeta stops him. Vegeta tells Trunks that if there is anyone he should heal, it should be Goku. Trunks is shocked by Vegeta's request, as he tells him that Goku is currently the only one capable of defeating Zamasu. As much as he is ashamed to admit it, he was able to realize that during the brief time that they were fused together. Vegeta flies back into the battle against Zamasu to come to Goku's aid. Vegeta grabs Goku from the shirt and tells him to go to Trunks, as he throws him all the way towards his direction. Zamasu grabs Vegeta by the neck and asks him if he's ready to kneel before a god. Vegeta shouts in anger that a prince like himself will never give up his pride. He releases a massive amount of energy all at once to push Zamasu away. Now fallen to the ground is Vegeta, telling Zamasu to take this opportunity to finally kill him. Zamasu, in anguish, tells Vegeta that he would be letting him off too easily that way. With Vegeta rendered helpless, Zamasu releases devastating blows to Vegeta, continuously making the Saiyan suffer before overall peril. Meanwhile, Trunks takes this opportunity to heal Goku back to full strength, putting him in a position where he feels more than ready to fight off against Zamasu. Vegeta is continuously being battered by the fearsome deity. Vegeta falls unconscious as Zamasu is prepared to finish him off. Finally, Goku appears in front of Zamasu, telling him that his strength was restored thanks to Trunks. Supreme Kai appears behind Goku so that he's able to take Vegeta into safety, so that Trunks is able to heal him enough to wake him up. Now smirking down Zamasu, Goku says how it's time for round 2, and he's going to show him the true power of the Saiyan race. Wasting no time, Goku powers up to Super Saiyan Blue. Zamasu suggests to Goku that he will never learn, considering that there was no future for the Super Saiyan Blue transformation at all. Suddenly, Goku closes his eyes and relaxes his entire body, completely dissipating the aura around him. Goku, now ready to fight, gets into his fighting position and charges at Zamasu. Goku is now able to balance his power and go head to head with Zamasu, exchanging blow for blow and precise attacks. Zamasu attempts to use his portal technique again, but Goku is able to maneuver around it. Instantly, Goku is able to finally land a punch square on Zamasu, much to everyone's surprise. On the sidelines, Vegeta tells Trunks how Goku was able to handle the overwhelming power of Super Saiyan Blue, further explaining that the weakness of Super Saiyan Blue is how it can't last for a very long time. But Goku has overcome that limit, and he's fighting Zamasu with 100% strength with no signs of retraction. This is the complete form of Super Saiyan Blue. Goku is able to hold his ground against Zamasu, as they are both able to land blows on each other, further displaying that this battle is far from over. Zamasu, now in anger, generates a massive ball of ki to launch at Goku. While the blast is proven to be difficult for Goku, he is successfully able to deflect it. Vegeta, now speaking to himself, is in awe of Goku's power, but further states how Goku's body will not be able to bear the depth of this power for very long. Goku is able to land a kick towards Zamasu's face, sending him flying to the city behind him. But his body is now showing signs of restraints, as he explains that his body is slowly starting to break down. The two continue with their fury of strikes, as it's hard to determine who has the upper hand. Zamasu, now seemingly looking like he's taken damage, rips off his shirt, declaring how he won't take any more. He tries to take this opportunity to recover as Goku appears behind him, completely backhanding him towards the ground. Goku says how he won't let Zamasu take time to recover anymore, but his body twitches, physically displaying the toll Super Saiyan Blue has been taking on his body. Zamasu slowly rises from the ground as he looks back at Goku in anguish. Goku grits his teeth and says how he will have to take his chances at this point. He pulls his right hand back as it's engulfed with a blue aura. Goku explains how it doesn't matter if Zamasu is immortal or not. This next technique might be enough to take him down. Zamasu cries in rage, now threatening to destroy not just the entire Earth, but the whole galaxy as well. Vegeta from the sideline says that Zamasu's aura is pouring out from an injured body, further elaborating by saying it doesn't matter if he's immortal or not because his physical stamina is still at risk. Zamasu continues to charge up his energy as high as it can go, and the pair charge at each other for one final standoff. Zamasu attempts to attack Goku as he's easily able to avoid the attack by emerging behind him. Goku apologizes to Beerus for giving this technique such a bad name as he screams out destruction, as he's seemingly using Beerus' Hakai technique to finish off Zamasu. Zamasu's body slowly begins to vanish from Goku's attack, but in a desperate measure, Zamasu opens a portal towards Mai and grabs her to use her as a force field from Goku's attack. With no choice, Goku is forced to stop his attack on Zamasu as he lands a kick to Goku's gut, which completely knocks him out of Super Saiyan Blue. Zamasu takes this time to regenerate his missing upper half and says how it's a shame that a god has to win in such a shameful way. As Zamasu is about to destroy the Earth, Trunks charges at Zamasu from behind, but he is entirely knocked out of his Super Saiyan form when Zamasu launches him back with just a simple glare. With there seemingly being no one left to stop the frightening deity, he begins to prepare for his final attack. But suddenly, Zamasu's fusion seems to have run out as he and Goku Black begin to separate. But it appears like their bodies are splitting differently from Goku and Vegeta's, as their bodies seem to be rejecting the split from the fusion. Gowasu says how despite them fusing, they are both mentally Zamasu, meaning they've made some type of cellular level connection. Wasting no time, Trunks slices the two restraining bodies in half with his sword, completely separating the two permanently. While Goku Black is incapacitated on the ground, Trunks takes this opportunity to stab him from the back to seemingly end his life. Trunks cries in relief, saying that the threat of Goku Black is finally over. But out of nowhere, Goku Black blasts Trunks from behind despite being pierced through his torso. To everyone's amazement, Goku Black slowly rises off the ground while grinning. He takes the blade from his torso and breaks it in his hands. Goku Black's body oddly morphs back into fused Zamasu while he looks down on everyone. The other Zamasu stands up from behind Goku as his body slowly morphs into his fusion self as well. One of the Zamasus land a kick towards Goku's gut, knocking him back towards the ground. Vegeta jumps in to save Goku as he prepares a Gamma Burst Flash to release on Zamasu. Lying before Vegeta are the remains of the two Zamasu's limbs, but Vegeta's attack is proving useless as the limbs begin to regenerate themselves. The Supreme Kai teleports in front of Goku and Vegeta and shouts that this is their last opportunity to run away, but suddenly more and more Zamasus begin to regenerate themselves in front of all of them. Walking towards our heroes are several Zamasus as they all charge in towards to attack them. Shin and Gowasu are able to seize Goku and the others in order to momentarily teleport them away from Zamasu's wrath. They arrive back with the time machine and Shin tells them to head back using the time machine while he and Gowasu use the time ring. Goku implies that they can't just go, knowing that Zamasu's existence is going to threaten the existence of every other parallel world. Zamasu soon catches up to our heroes and more of his clones continue to appear. Zamasu claims that he will be able to follow them wherever they go regardless of where they run off to. Gowasu states the absurdity of that remark considering how he can't utilize a time ring because he doesn't have the position of a Supreme Kai. But Zamasu further explains how he has a time machine of his own, specifically referring to the time machine that Gowasu told him about back in Universe 12. Vegeta grits his teeth and says that he's staying where he is and he will fight off Zamasu until the end, suggesting that everyone goes back and prays for a miracle. Goku is pleased with Vegeta statement as he agrees to stay with him, knowing that they'll both likely die. Goku and Vegeta power up to max power in their base form for one final standoff with Zamasu. Suddenly, Goku feels something in his shirt as he pulls it out, remembering it's the summoning button that Grand Zeno gave him. Goku shouts and asks the Supreme Kai if Grand Zeno would be living in this reality. Supreme Kai responds by saying yes, for no one can destroy the Lord of Everything. I guess this would imply that not even the Grand Priest could be strong enough to defeat Grand Zeno, but I don't know, I guess this is something to note for the future. Goku presses the button to call forth the Lord of Everything while yelling at Trunks to wait for the others. The Grand Zeno that is within their current timeline appears in front of them and falls to the ground. When Zamasu sees the Lord of Everything in front of him, he is astounded and begins to wonder why he is there in the first place. Goku introduces himself to Zeno, saying how he knows him from a different timeline. Zeno questions what has happened and why is everything messed up as Goku points to Zamasu, telling him that he is the cause of all of the horror that has happened. He expresses his displeasure with Zamasu's horrible deeds by declaring that he will totally erase him from existence. Vegeta, Goku, and the others take this opportunity to escape with the time machine while Zeno, bringing both of his hands together, releases a devastating blast, which in turn completely erases what is left of Trunks' timeline. Everyone was able to successfully avoid Zeno's attack back in the future timeline as they're welcomed back with a hearty embrace. Bulma's teary eyes were a rare sight that caught even Vegeta off guard, and Mai got to meet her older self. Kibito heals our heroes as Elder Kai says future Trunks' timeline is gone forever, but still that's better than losing everything. Beerus eyed Vegeta and Goku, making note that their power wasn't enough to defeat Zamasu after all. Goku laughed, having already expected a remark like that from Beerus. Still, that didn't stop Beerus from demanding to know everything that had happened. Up until nightfall, dinner was served and everyone enjoyed the delicious food. Lord Beerus, on the other hand, was furious at what he was hearing, taking note that the Supreme Kai had gone to the future timeline, which resulted in Beerus' own life at risk. Trunks stepped in, keeping a positive attitude about the situation, reminding them that despite everything, Zamasu had been defeated and the remaining parallel worlds were safe. Whis agreed, and even Beerus was grateful that the order had been restored across the parallel worlds. However, Bulma pointed out that future Trunks and Mai don't have a place to go back to. However, Emperor Pilaf cuts in, revealing how he was able to bypass the new parallel capacitor, which will allow them to travel to all different kinds of futures. With the news of the time machine, Goku sparked an idea and immediately asked Bulma for permission to use the time machine again. She questions, not understanding his plans, but he insists, making it clear how much he needed it. Arriving back in Trunks' timeline, they are greeted with nothing but a floating Zeno. Goku goes up to Zeno and asks if he'd prefer to go somewhere more fun. Zeno lights up, happily agreeing. Arriving back to the present timeline, everyone is shocked to see Zeno with Goku. Lord Beerus demands everyone to pay their respects to the Lord of Everything. Goku immediately turns to Supreme Kai and asks him to take them to the other Grand Zeno. Arriving at Grand Zeno's palace, Goku happily introduces the two Zenos to each other. The moment they see each other, they instantly bond, laughing as they run off together to play. Watching this unfold, the Grand Priest turns to Whis, clearly impressed, wondering if this was his idea. But Whis denies it, giving all credit to Goku. The Grand Priest expresses his envy of Universe 7, and Whis welcomes him to visit anytime. Pleased with the invite, the Grand Priest accepts the invitation to visit Universe 7 someday. Gowasu says his goodbyes and leaves after Beerus urging him to be far more careful about who he chooses his next apprentice to be. Future Trunks and Mai approach Bulma, both wanting to go back to the future before Zamasu or even Dabuda showed up. But Bulma hesitates, unsure if such a jump is even possible, and suggests that the both of them stay where they are. But Future Trunks and Mai both agree that they're better off going back to the future. Whis pops in stating that it would be possible to go back before Zamasu and Dabuda showed up, rendering both Trunks and Mai with an immense amount of shock. However, Bulma wasn't too happy about it, fearing that they could die when Zamasu shows up again. Supreme Kai suggests that they would speak to the Beerus in the new timeline about it, and says that Beerus in that timeline would be able to give them a hand in dealing with Zamasu. Beerus turns to Trunks, granting him permission to go back to the future timeline. However, Whis reminds them that if they do go back, there will be another Trunks and another Mai living there as well. Trunks and Mai didn't mind at all, believing that it would mean that they would have double the fighting power. With all of that established, Beerus and Whis say their goodbyes to Trunks and Mai before leaving. Trunks and Mai finally decide to prepare for their own departure while Bulma gives them capsules for their trip. Supreme Kai asks Trunks if he truly wanted to leave rather than remaining as his apprentice. He offers Trunks a place in the sacred world where he could live peacefully alongside Mai. But Trunks declines the offer, further explaining how he only became an apprentice to defeat Babidi and Dabuda and didn't feel the position of an apprentice would fit him. Trunks and Mai get into the time machine ready to leave as they say their final goodbyes. Goku reassures Trunks that he believes the choices he is making are the right ones and knows that Trunks will succeed in creating a whole new peaceful timeline. Before leaving, Vegeta speaks up as well, reminding his son to never stop training. After their final goodbyes, the time machine disappears, with Goku reassuring that Trunks will do well without them. Although the ending of this arc is still not very good because of how they get Zeno involved, I think the differences in the storytelling for the entire arc makes it a lot more refreshing and satisfying. Read it for yourself and let me know what you think about it. Subscribe if you guys are new and leave a like if you really enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.